Hey guys, how's it going? It's the 28th of February today. Spring is almost here. I thought I'd show you around the greenhouse because there's some cool stuff going on. I'm gonna close the door because I'm trying to trap in some heat. I'll show you why in a second. But first, I thought we'd just admire these flowers. So this is Peregrine Peach. I've had it a few years. I think I bought it when I got the greenhouse actually. So yeah, maybe 3 or 4 years. But yeah, it's flowering really profusely. The peach last year I had a huge peach harvest. They weren't the most delicious peach. They were good. They were still nice, but they weren't as good as the previous year. Sorry for the focus. And I think that's just because the weather. We just had a very cool, wet summer last year. Anyway, it's flowering really well now. When it leaves out, I will have to prune it back because, as you can see, it's sort of like hitting the glass all over the place, and it's just going to continue growing as well. So I do need to prune it back, but hopefully I can do so in a way to keep a good amount of fruit on here. And next to it, we've got a nectarine, which it was sold as Sweet Lady, but I think that's just like a plant nursery name for it. I don't know if that's the true variety. But I've grown this from a tiny stick, probably about as thick as that, as long as from here to the end of the branch. And it's in about a 20 litre pot, 15 litre maybe. It's doing pretty well. And the nectarines off of this were absolutely delicious. So really excited for this. But I am going to be moving this outside actually. Once spring is properly here, I'll be moving this outside because it will do fine outside. In the summer, it's just the winter wet that they don't like. So yeah, and it'll free up a bit more space as well. And then I've got citrus at the back. So I've got Eureka Lemon, Navel Orange, Satsuma, I think, Citrus Unshiyu, I think is a Satsuma. It's got loads of little tiny flower buds in the axils. So I'm really hoping that some of the citrus fruit for me this year because I've given them a bit more care and attention now. And they've had all of this kind of winter sun. Whenever it's sunny, they get the full dose of sun. The calamondin, you can see it's actually got a little fruit down there. And then grapefruit. Marsh Seedless is the variety, and it had dropped most of its leaves because I'd repotted it, but it is coming back. There's loads of little shoots all over it, so I'm really excited. I did have a fruit off of this. Well, I had several actually. And the last one I had was actually pretty tasty, to be honest. I still can't quite get over the bitter aftertaste that you get from grapefruit, but it did have when you kind of bite into it, it did have that initial sweetness to it, which is really cool because I hadn't really paid too much attention to this plant. But yeah, we'll see if it can produce some more for next year. And then this is just a little unknown lemon, which has got a few flower buds on it. There's a couple of tiny fruits on it. I don't know if they'll hold. But yeah, then in front of the citrus, I've got my kind of main greenhouse figs. So I've got Smith there, Black Madeira there, Verdino del Nord, which is sort of, yeah, I don't know. I just really like that fig. I don't know why. I've got Italian 258 from Peter, so thanks for that if you're watching. Little guy there. He's quite a knobbly little guy, but I think it will get going really well this year. Cordadama Ramada, potentially. The only figs that I'm really in doubt of now, in terms of what they are these two here. So Cordadama Ramada, Cordadama Gigantina. That one is definitely variegated, so it possibly is Cordadama Ramada, but it's just the source I got them from. This is like when I first got some fig cuttings. One of them was sold as Black Madeira, and it definitely wasn't. So slightly not quite sure what these guys are, but the fruits are absolutely delicious. So the one that was supposed to be Black Madeira, the fruit just wasn't very tasty. It was okay, but it just wasn't anything special. But these guys do produce delicious fruit, so that's why I've kept them. And then yeah, I've got a few little figs here that are on work experience at the moment. Whenever the sun is kind of slightly shining, so it's just a little bit warmer in here than outside, I try and bring these guys out, because actually, even when the sun's not really out, the kind of ambient light is actually more than some of the grow lights that I've got inside. So, and also I want these guys to acclimatize so that I can maybe in a week or so, when the temperatures stabilize, bring these guys out as permanent in their permanent pots. Well, for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then I can move them to the allotment, to the kind of little fig trial that I've got going. So yeah, just getting these guys going. LSU Tiger is just going mental, just going crazy. But the leaves are super soft, and they just wouldn't stand up to, cold and wind very well. So hence why I'm trying to bring them outside a bit more. But it's quite difficult heaving all of these plants all the way into the house, back upstairs into my bedroom, and then putting them all in where the grow lights are, because yeah, it's a bit fiddly. But yeah, they're doing okay. That's another LSU Tiger. It seems to root and shoot very well for me. I've got a couple of seed trays going. I can't remember what I put in them, to be honest. I think it was cabbage, something else, cabbage. I can't remember. But anyway, they'll hopefully get going. And yeah, that's about it really. Just a few little random plants and hardy ginger down there that's kind of overwintering. But yeah, I do want to also get a minimum maximum thermometer in here, because I'm just a bit sad like that. I like to know numbers. So yeah, that'll hopefully I can use that to kind of determine when I can bring these guys out, along with obviously weather forecasts. But yeah, there we go, little greenhouse tour for you. It's all starting to kick off. I'm really excited. I'm really hoping that I don't get the caterpillar problem with the figs again. If I do, I'm going to have to sort of make some sort of spray. But yeah, luckily these guys haven't, there's no sign of them being affected by it at the moment. So yeah, anyway, there we go. Thanks for watching, guys. Lots of love, lots of peace, and I'll speak to you very soon.